Hi, we are going to be looking on CXE chemistry past paper June 2005. Which of the following techniques or processes may be used to separate a mixture of plant pigment into its individual components? So colored compounds are separated using chromatography. The rate of a chemical reaction does not depend on. So we're looking for a factor that is not, we're looking for something that's not a factor of rate of reaction. So that's gonna be D. Reactants, concentration of reactants, catalyst, and temperature are factors which affect rate of reaction. So the following compound can be conveniently prepared by precipitation. So we're looking for an insoluble salt. All sulfates are soluble except barium and lead. So this is an insoluble salt. So A. The atom represented below by the electronic configuration will most readily form a positive ion. So that's going to be A. Particles of a solid cannot move about because the force of attraction is very strong. So the force of attraction between the particles are very strong, so they're very difficult to overcome these force of attraction and move. Which of the following behaves as both oxidizing and reducing agents? So concentrated sulfuric acid is an oxidizing agent only. Acidified potassium permanganate is an oxidizing agent only. Chlorine is an oxidizing agent only. Hydrogen is both an oxidizing and reducing agent because hydrogen gas can move from 0 to form H plus ions like in an acid where it is oxidized, or it can also combine with metal to form the hydride ion where there's a reduction in oxidation number. So the answer is D. So the following chromatogram is obtained from paper chromatography by a mixture of dyes and 4 separate dyes. So this is the mixture. It starts here, all of them starts here. So the mixture has some dye 4. It also have some amount of dye 1 and some amount of dye 2. So it has 1, 2, and 4. D. Which of the following aqueous solution contains 1 mole of hydrogen ions? So 1 mole per dm cube of hydrogen ions has, so 1 mole per dm cube of H2SO4 has 2 moles of hydrogen ions. So this doesn't have 1. 1 dm cube of a 1 molar ethanoic acid. The thing about ethanoic acid is that ethanoic acid only partially ionized, so we're not going to get 1 mole of hydrogen ions only, because only a few of these molecules will form ions. 0.5 mole of H2SO4 have 1 molar H plus ions. 1 molar H plus ions times 2 mole is 2 moles, so that wouldn't be it. 0.5 dm cube of H2SO4 have 0.5 moles of H plus ions. You have 2 dm cube of it, 2 times 0.5. So our answer is D. When iron 3 sulfate reacts with potassium iodide, so potassium iodide is a known reducing agent. When it acts as a reducing agent, it causes potassium permanganate to form a brown colorization of iodine is produced. So we get a brown solution. So this means that iron is a reducing agent. No, potassium iodide is a reducing agent. Reducing agents are oxidized. So iodide ions are oxidized to iodine. This is correct. sodium metal contains sodium ions and mobile electron. That is true. And the cations are going to repel each other. So it's 1 and 3. Which of the following statements are true? Isotopes of an element contain the same number of proton. That is true. Same number of neutron. That is not true. They have different number of neutron. They have the same number of proton. They have the same number of proton as electron. That is true. So, oh, different number of electron. This is wrong. So I'm read that wrong. So I have different number of electron. That's wrong. Same number of proton as electron. That is true. So we're looking for 1 and 4, B. Which of the following process suggests that matter is made up of minute particles? So the processes we are looking for are diffusion, osmosis, Brownian motion. We see diffusion. Here we have methanol. Here we have ethanol. Here we have propanol. Here we have propan 2-ol. So the two alcohols with identical molecular mass would be the one that have the same number of each atom. So it would be 2 and 3, propanol and propan 2-ol. 3 and 4, these two. Which alcohol contains the same number of carbon as methane? Methane have only 1 carbon. The alcohol which has 1 carbon is 1. Which of the following statements about a chemical reaction is not correct? So which is not correct? Energy is given out when bonds break. No energy is given out when bonds are formed. Chemical reaction involve bond making and bond breaking. That's true. So it says not correct. It's gonna be A. Item 16 refers to 1 mole of each of the following acid. So here we have H2SO4, which is a dibasic acid. We have ethanoic acid, which is a monobasic acid. We have a diacid here, which is also a dibasic acid. And we have HNO3, which is a monobasic acid. Which two of the acid requires more than 1 mole of sodium? So we're looking for anything with more than 1 mole of hydrogen. So we're looking for a dibasic acid. So it would be 1 and 3. So when you use salts, base, alkali, acid to answer the following. Oxides of metal are bases. Supply proton as the only positive ions in aqueous solution. That is going to be an acid. In which of the following the process is fractional distillation not used? So fractional distillation is not used when we are converting from an alkane into a unsaturated compound. This is cracking. For all the other processes, we use fractional distillation. Which two of the following are true about electrons, protons, neutrons? Protons and neutrons are found in the nucleus. That is true. Electrons can be found anywhere outside of the nucleus. Electrons are generally formed on shell. Let's see if we're going to pick that. Number of proton always equal to the number of neutron. That is not true. Number of proton always equal to the number of electron. That is true. So we're looking for 1 and 5. The answer is B. So the following is not a mixture. So not a mixture means it's an element or a compound. So here, mercury is an element. Which are the following elements of molecule which contains 2 atoms? So we're looking for a divalent molecule. So that's going to be your halogens. Which atoms has 2 electrons on their outer shell? Those are the ones in group 2. So the answer is B. Which of the following factors would not be expected to determine whether a particular cation would be discharged during electrolysis? Position of the ions is a factor. Concentration of the cation, yes. Inertness of the electrode, yes. The temperature of the solution, no. Which of the following reaction involves oxidation reduction? Magnesium moves from 0 to +2. Hydrogen decreases from +1 to 0. So this is both oxidation reduction. Magnesium moves from 0 to +2. So that's oxidation. Hydrogen remains the same here. Nitrogen moves from +5 here to +4. So that is a reduction. So 2 as well. Barium is 2+, and over here it's 2-, so this is not 1. Zinc moves from 0 to +2, oxidized. Copper is reduced because it moves from +2 to 0. So we're looking for 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. So we're looking for C. Crystals of sodium chloride are best referred to as. So sodium chloride is an ionic compound, so they're referred to as ionic crystals. Study the following thermochemical equation. X and Y are reactants and they form Z. Delta H is negative. When delta H is negative, means the reaction is exothermic. So which of the following ways can be used to compute negative B whatever? So it's the energy of the product minus the energy of the reactants. Yes. Energy of X and Y minus that, no. Sum of X and Y, no. So the answer is 1 only. So we have chlorine, we have iron 2, sorry. Iron 2 chloride and iron 3 chloride. Which are the following statements about the 2 chlorides of irons are true? The oxidation of iron is different. Percentage of iron by mass in the 2 chloride is different. Yes, they have different mass number. The color solution are different. Yes, one is green, one is yellow. The aqueous solution of the 2 chloride do not conduct electricity. They're ionic compounds, so they will conduct electricity. So we're looking for 1, 2, and 3. Our answer is C. Sulfuric acid forms sodium salt, sodium hydrogen sulfate, and sodium sulfate. The basicity is going to be 2 because it produces 2 moles of H+ ion. Barium is an element in group 2 of the periodic table. It reacts with cold water to give hydrogen and barium hydroxide, which is D. So we have some salts here. Zinc carbonate, well, not just salt, zinc carbonate, metal, barium chloride, phenolphthalein, which can be used in an acid-base titration to show the reaction has been completed. So we're looking for phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein is D. In aqueous solution, produces a white precipitate on reaction with sulfuric acid. So which one of these can form? It would be barium chloride. Barium chloride will swap ion to form barium sulfate and hydrochloric acid. So that's going to be C. Item 33 refers to the table below. Gives the melting point and boiling point of chlorides of 4 elements. So we have melting point and boiling point. Which of the following elements would most likely form a chloride that is ionic in nature? So ionic chlorides have high melting point, high boiling point, high melting point, high boiling point. So I'm going to go with 3. Isomers, polymer, allotropes, isotopes. Solid form of an element which differ in physical property is going to be allotropes, which is C. Compounds that have the same molecular formula but different structural formula is going to be isomer, which is A. Which of the following elements react most vigorously with H plus ions to give hydrogen gas? Looking for the most reactive element in periodic table, so that's going to be zinc. Potassium is a metal. From this information only, it can be deduced. So looking for property of metal, it is a good conductor of electricity. All right, so production of ammonia is no longer on the syllabus. 39, sorry. When copper 2 carbonate is heated alone in dry test tube, a gas evolves. And so this is a decomposition reaction. Copper carbonate will break down to form carbon dioxide and copper oxide. So the gas is carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide forms a white precipitate in calcium hydroxide. Which of the following aqueous solution will produce a blue precipitate with aqueous sodium hydroxide? So blue is copper. So it's going to be copper nitrate. Copper 2 plus ions form blue precipitate. Which of the following gas may be classified as pollutants in air? Carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide. So looking for 2 and 4. B. Many fertilizers contain ammonium salt because these salts are a source of nitrogen, which are essential to plant growth. Which of the following neither reacts with water nor displaces hydrogen in dilute sulfuric acid? So we're looking for something below hydrogen in the reactivity series, sorry. So that's gonna be copper. In the reaction between zinc and sulfuric acid, when zinc reacts with sulfuric acid, we form salt and hydrogen gas. Zinc moves from 0 to +2. Hydrogen moves from +1 to 0. So that's oxidation reduction. Which of the following are arranged in order of increasing particle size? The solution color is then suspension. D. Using some of these ethanol, ethane, ethanoic acid, ethyl ethanoate. Which one of these undergo addition reaction? That's going to be the alkene, so that's B. Ethene. Immiscible in water. Immiscible in water is our ester, so that's D. Reacts with hydrogen to produce alkane. That's going to be an alkene, so the answer is B for there as well. The compound ethene is described as being unsaturated. This means that unsaturated compounds have double bonds, so the molecule contains at least one double bond. Which of the following is not true of all homologous series? Members in the series have the same functional group. That's true. Same general formula, similar chemical property. They do not have the same empirical formula. Which of the following types of polymer may be derived from this compound? So here we have a amino acid. Amino acid is used to form polypeptide. The process in which large molecules of hydrocarbons are broken into smaller molecules are called cracking. Fermentation of sugar, glucose reacts with is decomposed by zymase to form 2-ethanol, 2-carbon dioxide. So that's gonna be C. Here we are burning some ethanol is burning. When all organic compounds burn, they burn to give carbon dioxide and water. So here, the ice is going to cause the water molecule to form, the water vapor to form liquid water, and then the carbon dioxide is going to go into the calcium hydroxide where it forms calcium carbonate. So it says, which are following best describe what will be observed. So in the YouTube here, we are going to see a colorless liquid, water. So water is a colorless liquid, so that's what we would observe. And in here, when the carbon dioxide enters where the calcium hydroxide is, we're going to see a white precipitate. So it's going to be C. If ice is removed, so if ice is removed, that means for the water, we're going to get water in the gaseous state. So the ones where water is gas is these two. So let's balance. Ethanol is a liquid. So this is going to be our correct answer. So they're identical except for the state symbol. So ethanol is a liquid. The functional group presenting a carboxylic acid is C double bond OH. So that's going to be B. Which compound is not considered to be a polymer? So not a polymer is going to be amino acid. Major natural source of alkane and alkene, that's going to be petroleum or crude oil. 59, so we have chlorine gas. Chlorine gas is yellow-green. Yellow-green is being bubbled in potassium iodide, which is, potassium iodide is colorless. And then they add a few starch in it, iodine, and starch forms a blue-black mixture. Which are the following color of the solution in test tube when chlorine stream is stopped? So we're gonna get blue-black because of the iodine. So it's gonna turn blue-black. That's the closest color there. Polymer has a partial structure. So look at what's repeating. So this is addition polymerization. So between the carbons, we must have a double bond. So our monomer is D. Thanks for watching.